This is your step-by-step guide for creating your first story path. After acquiring some credits, you just need to enter a name, and the first time you load your new story path, you'll get this reminder, and we'll cover all of these details now. These boxes are the few required details to create your path, and they influence the kind of paths that it generates. We'll cover some best practices in a future video, but you can get started now with just a genre, a couple of characters, and a 2-sentence description. One thing to remember is that you can always change and update these boxes, even in the middle of a story path. Updating the sequence context is a great way to influence the direction of your story. The final piece of setup is writing your initial sequence. Generally, 1 or 2 sentences is best and should describe how your story begins. To start generating new sequences, click the arrow on the top right to bring up the generation menu. There are a number of options here, but we're only going to take a look at the first drop-down for now. This sets how many sequences you want to generate, and you'll see that as we update it, it'll change the sequence credit cost. Once you're happy, click the button and wait a few seconds for your new sequences to appear. If you're happy with what appears and want to continue down the path, repeat the same process on one of the new sequences. You can always repeat this on a sequence until you find a next step that you like. If you like a sequence but want to change or add a detail, just click on the text and edit as you like. These changes will then carry forward into new sequences that you generate. You can also add a completely blank sequence and write it in yourself, which doesn't have a cost. The final main setting to be aware of is the look-back depth. When creating new sequences, the system takes into account all of this header data, but also the events leading up to the sequence. And the look-back depth defines how many past sequences it should take into account. Generally speaking, a higher number will tend to continue an existing story thread, such as a battle or a conversation in a cafe, and a lower number will encourage things to change a bit more. Using the story path system is a craft within itself, and a future video will go into some of the best practices we've found in our own use cases. In the next video though, we'll take a look at the options menu and the extra features available to you there.